theme park capital of the world and one of the planet's most desirable places for a holiday home. Today, Living Inns going stateside.
"30 or 40 years ago, this patch in central Florida was home to a few swamp dwellers and some cattle. Nowadays, it's one of the fastest growing areas in the US and one of the hottest spots for property in the world. I'm talking, of course, about Orlando, and today I'm going to find out why so many of us are buying here and what sort of property is available.
It may be inland, but the beaches are still one of the main reasons why people come to Orlando, and both the Gulf and Atlantic coasts are a little over an hour away. But probably Orlando's biggest and most famous attractions are the theme parks, without which most of the state would probably still be a chain of swamps and lakes. One of the main factors in Orlando's growth is the amount of spare land to build on, something reflected in the amount of golf courses, over 1,400, and the amount of building work going on. Overall, the city is very much a two-pronged affair between locals and tourists. Towards the north tends to be stuff like the downtown business district and residential areas like Windermere. Further south, you'll find more hotels and holiday homes in places such as Davenport and Kissimmee, all within easy reach of the major theme parks.
As you might expect, tourism is the big breadwinner in this state, bringing in around $50 billion each year. If you are thinking of buying here because of the theme parks or despite them, it's something you can't really afford to ignore.
The popularity of Orlando really does boil down to one man, or should that be Mouse? And prior to 1970, nobody would have given a second thought to taking a holiday in Florida. Disney's success paved the way for tourism. Hotels and attractions sprung up on International Drive, and other parks such as Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure emerged to cement Orlando's crown as the world's capital of fun. And not content with an annual trip, many are now buying houses like there's no tomorrow, hoping life will become one big long holiday.
Over the last couple of years, property prices here in Florida have hit an all-time high. And if you're thinking of making that life-changing decision and moving here, it's common sense to do your research.
One vital part of that research is meeting Brits who are already here. Ned Kelly moved to Orlando a couple of years ago, having been a regular visitor since 1994.
So Ned, you've been here for about 2.5 years now. I mean, what's everyday life like in Florida?
Well, it's really fantastic. I play golf about 3 times a week. I mean, within 15 minutes of anywhere in Orlando, you can find a golf course. And there's so many different types. You've got Nick Fowler golf course, you've got Jack Nicklaus, you've got Tiger Woods courses. Tiger Woods just lives around the corner from me, in actual fact, and so does Mark O'Meara. So all the big golfers are in the Orlando area as well. And then if you get fed up playing your golf, then I've got the boat, I've got my 2 jet skis, Wonder Lakes. I mean, there's something like 258 miles of shoreline on the Butler chain of lakes. I mean, you've really got everything. And, and the ladies over there, I mean, they come over here and they love the moles. The shopping is fantastic. And I get all my football live, every Saturday morning. I still see the Reds, and it's fantastic.
So you just kind of chill out and relax all the time?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. Well, I'm sort of semi-retired. I'm really in the comfortable zone where, if I want to do it, I can. But if I don't have to, I don't have to. And at this moment in time, I don't want to do it either. So I'm just relaxing and enjoying and trying to improve my golf.
So, I mean, why did you actually pick Florida as a place to live?
I actually bought my first property over here in '96.
Right.
And my long-term goal was actually to come over here and get a green card. And I bought a business in '99, which was a housing management, which was looking after all the villas for the Brits on US 27 and 192. Mm-hmm. And through that, I got my green card. And this year, actually, if I decide, I can actually become a US citizen this year.
If you were to give someone advice that's actually thinking of making the move, what would you say to them?
I would say get on a plane and get over here, and just relax, come over and just enjoy it, because it's a fantastic place. I mean, and if you go down a bit south here, about 10 miles away from here. I mean, it's like being back in England.
Right.
I mean, well, there's just so many of us over here. There's so many Brits here. It's unbelievable.
Any regrets at all?
No. I mean, no, not about coming over here. No. I mean, there's certain things in life. If I look back on my life, I've got regrets about. But one of them is not coming to Orlando in Florida.
To get to Orlando, you're talking in the region of a 10-hour flight. But the good news is that being such a hot tourist route, and with so many international airports, you can quite often find good deals, so home is never too far away. Once you're here, getting around is pretty good, but car culture definitely rules. Traffic around holiday hotspots is infamously heavy, and jams aren't uncommon. But with cheap gas, good parking, and good value rental, you can't really beat it. those who don't give a Donald Duck for Disney, there are parts of Orlando which are tourist-free. Downtown is just like a regular city, complete with offices, amenities, and vibrant people. In terms of lifestyle, there's definitely a good community feeling, and it does seem fairly easy to become a part of it. One thing you might find surprising, I know I did, is the number of churches around. Here, the church does play a major role. Whilst downtown is mainly business-oriented, you will find yourself never more than a short drive from any kind of amenity you want, not least the most sacred of American institutions, the shopping mall. One of the newest is the Mall at Millennia, complete with all the shops, brand names and facilities you could ever need and more. But if you're talking lifestyle, the American Mall does have a good feeling to it that you just don't seem to find in UK shopping centres. Kids hang around without causing trouble, they're open late, you've got seating areas, restaurants, bars and movie theatres, basically everything you could ever need under one air-conditioned roof. The focal point in downtown Orlando is Church Street. It's very quiet during the day with only a few shops open. It doesn't really get its steam up until late in the evening. Downtown Orlando is definitely a more authentically American nighttime experience. And at the weekends, this place can get pretty mad. This is where locals tend to hang out, have a beer, chat with friends, and catch some live music. For a mix of locals and visitors, Disney and Universal both have their own nighttime areas and come complete with bars, clubs and restaurants. For the big tourist experience, you need to take a putt at International Drive. Here you'll find everything from crazy golf courses to restaurants and English pubs. One man who knows all about the latter is Errol Cameron.
So, how long have you actually been living in Florida?
24 years. My mother moved over here 5 years before I came over, and she wanted to bring the whole family over. She wanted a better life for the family.
A lot of people coming over from England would actually probably go back. Why have you stayed for 25 years?
It actually took me 5 years, 6 years to make my first trip back to England. I mean, I do enjoy going back because I miss the pubs, going out with friends. And then to go out and have a decent night out here is very difficult because you've got to drive everywhere. Whereas back home, you can just walk to 3, 4, 5, 6 pubs on the road and you're fine. You can have a good session, but it's very difficult out here when you've got family and friends here.
So, I mean, it's 25 years is an awful long time to be here. You've obviously seen a huge amount of change.
Oh, there's a lot of changes. International Drive has expanded tremendously over the years. Kissimmee especially, because when I moved to Orlando, Kissimmee was like just 2 lanes of road, and it's now 6 lanes. Huge influx of British people coming over, buying houses in Orlando, Kissimmee, US 27 out that way as well. Because we do a lot of football games here, you'll meet people coming in and you'll find that there are different people that have moved in and they've probably only been here, 2, 3 years, something like that.
How big is the British community?
I couldn't tell you as far as numbers, but it is very big.
I mean, after living here for so long, do you have any tips for anybody that's thinking of moving over here?
Well, the thing I say to a lot of people when they think about it, I say don't put it down to the weather, because a lot of people think, oh yeah, the weather's great, they want to move out here. And I've met a few people that have moved out here, been here 6 months or a year, and it's not what they expect. It's totally different, and they've moved back. Well, because they were out on holiday and they were experiencing the good weather, really hot and that, they thought, oh yeah, this is the climate for them. But it doesn't suit everybody.
The Cricketers may be one place to catch up with Brits abroad, but there are also magazines directed entirely at Britons in Florida, which is another great way to keep up with events back home.
Well, you know, after all, they do call Orlando the theme capital of the world. What to do? Oh, jeez! See you after the break.
In part 2, we get the lowdown on the Orlando property market from the experts and see some of the houses on offer.